Today I have come with a very important subject, which is life. In this lockdown, we have been forced to think of our priorities in life. Though struggle had become the metaphor of life, we are re-evaluating, reassessing where man stands today. A few incidents have shaken up the Indian society thoroughly, be it suicides or be it the labor struggling on the streets to reach their villages. Struggle has become the metaphor of life. Life is the most precious thing. Human life is the supreme gift of God. To be born into this world is to play your role assigned to you in the scheme of things. But how the role was assigned? It is your will which determined your choices. Choice to be born to a particular set of parents, choice of your friends, and even the choice of your environment. It is your free will. Religion is a mere means to your spiritual aspect. In this world of duality, there is great interplay of passions and emotions. There are jealousies, ego, hatred, dislikes, which can weigh heavily or break a person. Meditation is effective, but when you are greatly agitated by the external agents, you find little peace or have least inclination to seek a meditative recourse. Religion is nowadays systematically sidelined or ignored. In the Gita, Sri Krishna gave the message of doing karma without seeking the fruits or focusing on the results. Even Buddha had pointed out desires to be the cause of man's troubles. Take the instance of Sri Krishna. His friend too had to face dire poverty. He was scarred by the difficulties in life. The world of Maya or delusion pulls us down, but it is belief and complete faith which uplifts mankind. Here, I would like to quote the instances of Meera and Surdas, who had found succor in their bhakti towards their Lord. Now, we must have complete faith in ourselves, in yourself. An educated person or an uneducated man should not be so desperate to give up on life. Now, as per the psychologists, there are some mental triggers or genetic leanings associated with the morbid thoughts. That is why bhajan can be effective. Prayers can lead you to a better feeling. Kauravas had sent Pandavas to the forest. They too had to face many hardships in those years they spent in the forest. And 1 year of Agyatavas, that is, they should not be discovered by the Kauravas, or their identity should be kept under wraps. Rama too had to proceed to the forest when he was expecting to be coronated. These hardships and challenges prevail throughout life. As long as there is life, there are issues to be sorted, problems to be resolved. Life means movement, change, challenges. If you bounce back, your experience had taught you a lesson, a bigger lesson, a bigger zeal to take on a bigger role in life. After a big tragedy, people go through different mental state, which we can associate with detachment from life. They give up on life, they seek no pleasures, no delights, no dreams in life. This we can call as the moment of their grieving. Some people have called it as the Shamshan Bhav. That is, we think that there is nothing to this temporal world. For the same, in Indian culture and the other cultures, they have marked a specific period of grieving. The emotional catharsis takes place during that period. The departed soul also seems to have moved on in his journey. Life has dreams we should not give up on. How can we help ourselves or the younger generation to cope with life? These are a few issues which I would like to focus on. Now, most of the time we are in denial whenever we go through a certain set of emotions or feelings or state of mind. We should accept whatever we are struggling with. That gives us a momentum to address the problem. Now, from an early age, let the children understand that denial is not to be abhorred. Train the children to be patient. Let them wait for you. Let them be trained to be patiently waiting for instructions or orders. You see that children are very restless. They refuse to wait on your hands. They don't like to take orders even nowadays. Things have become so democratic. But an intelligent parent, a wise parent I would say, always depends on age-old wisdom. Engage the children in group activities and solo activities. The group activities makes the child learn the ropes of the trade and even toughens him to life. He understands several things, the several nuances which are missed if you have a single child at home. People are volunteering for being single parents. They are opting for being parents to a single child, but the child is not exposed to the larger canvas of life. The child should be able to survive in a group and also survive in his own company. Sometimes people get very flustered when they are with themselves. So you should engage them in group and solo activities. Let them understand also the worth of leisure. There is this importance of leisure, and also let them learn how to calm themselves and relax. I will say that men have a lot of extra energy which should be properly channelized through games, mental activities, book reading, and creative activities. Next, you should develop love and respect for all. Now, how you can do that? Let you be an example to the kids. You can teach them by treating your helpers with kindness. They should also understand that everything is not so fair. Life can be unfair. Though you have to inculcate in them the sense of fairness and justice, so that they have the strength, the integrity to stand for something. In unitary families, sibling rivalries are not there. So they do not know how to deal with some of their emotions. So that learning curve is missing. Teach them to share and not be greedy for attention. Now, let the children learn and enjoy being alone. Sometimes solitariness fills a person with diffidence or self-pity. Sometimes even people have suggestive remarks that how do you survive being alone all by yourself? Now, that is not the answer, that is not the solution. You have to survive. You are enjoying your solitariness. That is possible when you learn the importance of being alone. So self-pity is not the answer. Respect yourself and your life. Learn to fight meanness and opposition by solidarity in your beliefs and strengths. Rise above petty people and circumstances by avoiding and curtailing their interference firmly. Politeness should not be your weakness, it should be your strength. If you don't have the dark, how can you appreciate light? So it is for a better understanding of life that we deal with ambivalences, we deal with polarities, and we deal with dualities. Change is inevitable. If you are having a good period, you neither be happy nor sad. You take them as life comes. These periods will change, so change is inevitable. Time never remains the same. Bad times will be over, just as after every sunset there is a sunrise. And foremost, the children should learn to accept the failures. The child should not be traumatized that he shall be humiliated, or it is a big humiliation that he has to face this failure, any kind of failure. Sometimes some impediments come in the form of diseases or some minor obstacles. So life's importance should be taught to them. Life is bigger than anything. Everything revolves around life. This is what your clear message to the child should be. And also you have to tell the child that be shameless. Don't be so sensitive to adversities or adversaries. Develop a thick skin. Sometimes excessive sensitivity can be an impediment to growth. So it can be your nemesis. So everything up to a limit is appreciable. Here I would like to quote Emily Dickinson's favorite lines, which tell each one of us that success and failure are the two sides of the coin. In her poem she writes, "Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend the nectar requires sorest need. Not one of those who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear as the one on whose defeated ears the distant strains of the distant bugles break, agonized and clear." So it is the person who has failed, he understands the worth of success. So success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed, and to comprehend the nectar requires a great need, the sorest need. Not one of those who took the purple flag today can tell the definition so clear as the one on whose defeated ear the distant bugles break agonized and clear. Thank you for listening. I hope you like and you recommend it to the others as well, because there are certain important points. I don't relate it to any religion, but you should have faith and integrity to your own self, and you should have dreams to dream. Thank you.